day 15 of the Louis Vuitton Cup, and the winds were up to 14 knots on the race courses. Fine conditions for another day of racing. On the Romeo course, disaster struck as BMW Oracle lost their headsail in the race against Team China. The Americans tried in vain to remain competitive, but the Chinese underdogs went on to defeat the team in #1 spot on the leaderboard. On the Juliet course, it was Mascalzoni taking on Arriva Challenge in a breezy 10 knots of wind. It was a closely fought contest all the way, with Arriva just squeezing around the top mark 8 seconds ahead. As Mark II approached, Mascalzoni failed to keep clear of their opponent's proper course and were issued a penalty. On the final stretch, Mascalzoni decided to lay it all on the line, attempting to offload their penalty and steal the race. But the French somehow managed to slip away. The Italians crossed the line ahead of the French, but having failed to complete their penalty turn, had to settle for second place. The moderate winds continued to hold for Emirates Team New Zealand's grudge match against Mascalzoni, the Latin Rascals, who beat the Kiwis in the first match of round robin 1. The match started with both teams coming out of their respective corners fighting. Once ahead though, the New Zealanders bounced Mascalzoni back to the right side of the course in an attempt themselves to cross on port and command the right side. Leading into the top mark, the Emirates Team New Zealand gashed their opponents and held a solid lead of 150 metres until the final run. Mascalzoni began to climb back into the Kiwis, only to suffer 2 disastrous incidents that cost them any chance of a serious attack. First, they broke a spinnaker pole in a jibing duel, which knocked the bowman over the side. A quick response by the crew successfully retrieved Paolo Pittari, who promptly got back to his position on the bow. From this point on, it was sweet revenge for the Kiwis, who now sit in 3rd place on the leaderboard behind Oracle and Prada.
Yeah, it was a real close race with Mascalzoni today. They set up really well. It was tight right from the start. They started to windward of us, they tacked away, and then it was a tacking duel for a long way up the beach until we finally got enough to get around them from the left-hand side, and then sort of bounced them out, and they had to do extra 2 tacks at the top. Then it was very close the whole way down the run, lots of jibes, and then the wind became very unstable, and they made a big gain up the second beat. Were right behind us again, and we managed to just hold them off through the rest of the race.